easy. Come ahead. Come ahead. Keep coming. Keep coming, Eric. All right, hold that.
Basically, it's a Japanese crane, big mother, but they took the counterweight. They took the counterweights off. So it's supposed to be 88,000 pounds, but it's so massive, and the boom sticks out. We can still move it forward, but now they have to correct the rear because the ground was tilted. So he's more to one side, so they need to move it a little bit like that way, you know, like away from the truck. And also it's still too far in the front. Like right now, my gooseneck, I don't have enough room over there to hook up to the trailer. But yeah, ideally I want to get it as far away from the truck as possible, because otherwise the truck is going to be overloaded, you know. Well, that's US 15 in Pennsylvania, and I'm at the Rutgers truck stop. Diesel is $3.59, and this is my load number 3. Rough terrain Japanese crane. It's supposed to be 101.500 pounds, but they removed the counterweights. So now it's 88,000, and it took me a while to load this thing. Well, the guys drove it on. Sorry, it's very windy, but there's not enough tie downs, you know. Like in the front there was just one, right? And then there was nothing here. And so I climbed underneath, and I found that's like massive steel, you know. So I had to do this. There's nothing in the middle. See, like you cannot put. It's very hard to put anything over the axle because there's a whole bunch of stuff in there, you know. Like that part over there, but again, it's tough to crawl in. Like nothing. Basically, you just get two rings, and this came with the machine, and so I ran out of options, so I just had to put 2 chains into each one, right? See? And one in here. Nothing in the middle. I still cannot fold this. We use these, if you saw, we used these when we were loading, and the guy went off to one side. Where did I see it? I hope he didn't break, but he went this way when he was loading. And he broke my og board. Let's see, over here, that's okay. You get one ring over here, and so again the same thing. I went underneath in there, and then I get 2 over here. But the top ones, they use it for the boom. But I had to use them anyway, so I put it here. I used 2 chains cross in the middle, and 2 like this. So I got 4 chains in here, plus 2 in there, that's 6, plus 1 on this side, 8. And then over here we have 10, and we have 4 in here. So 14 chains. So if somebody can show me another spot where I can put a couple of more, I'll put them in, but I just couldn't find anything, you know. It's just not enough tie downs. Situation like this, that's what you do. Because these tie downs actually pretty strong, you can use 2 chains hooked up to one D-ring. Like you see, like this D-ring over here, these are massive, right? These are much bigger than what I have, and mine are rated for 8.5 tons. So I think these are like 15 tons, you know. So you can definitely use 2 chains. And the machine has been behaving. I stopped. We had to use. They made me to use Escort in Maryland, so that's why I picked it up, just northwest of Bethesda, Rockville, Maryland. They were building something, and so they shipped this crane over there for work, and now it's coming back. So like this one has I love this sign because it has these, so it's easy to attach, but then that rubber broke over here. I mean, not the rubber, but the tie down, and so there's nothing I can do. There's nowhere to tie it down, you know, like, because everything is flexible over here. So I'm gonna go inside the truck stop and see if they sell these. And why I stopped over here, because just as always, and this thing, I don't know, like 10-11 wide, just a couple of inches over 13.6, and somewhere like 13.7, 13.8. And you see, and again, this is the perfect example of why my trailer can be great, because of the drop side rail, right? So that's what you gain. You gain that. Like if you would have loaded this on a regular trailer, you would be this, well, not that much taller, because that's over there, it's 22 inches, right? So a regular trailer will be probably, I don't think you can even, well, if you're lucky, if you can get 18 inches, but probably it'll be like 20, you know? And you see how low I am right now. So I'm running on second. Yeah, so that's 1, 2. I love this on the Fontaine, how you can quickly change the height. So I'm running on second because I have so many axles. I wanna, if I put it into one, it's hard to get enough air into the last axle, you know? And that's why we're running like this. So second position in the back, and the second position in the front. Check out these tires. 29.5-25 Bridgestone. You know? Massive. And yeah, so that's my right height control. Right, you see I'm running on the second. So the first one would be here. Second, and I got 5, right? And that's how I change the height. So well, good. Oh yeah, and so the reason I stopped in here is because Pennsylvania has this, when you order a permit, you have to carry with you that what is it called, M938, whatever. It's like general conditions for Pennsylvania, and they have these urbanized areas, right? And so the rule is you can only drive from 9 to 4, like whatever the map like shows you, the bad area, so to speak. And so 4 to 7 you have to stop, and you also have to stop 7 to 9 in the morning. And I'm just south of Harrisburg, right? And I say bye-bye to my Escort, who took me to the Pennsylvania line on 15. And it was like 3:10, 10 minutes after 3. And I look at Google Maps, Harrisburg, for me to hit 81 and 83, it's 50 miles. or 80 kilometers. So basically I would be there right at 4 o'clock, but then there could be traffic. I could have made it, but you know, I have to slow down all the time on hills. Like the truck pulls great, especially on a level road. I just set my cruise at 92 an hour, 57 miles per hour. It pulls great, but of course when the hills you have to downshift, and so it takes longer, right? Because I'm so heavy now. My gross weight right now is about 142,000 pounds. And so I opened DRATCHEV, my app on the phone, activated my location on the phone, and DRATCHEV told me that this was the last track stop before the Harrisburg, going north on 15. Well, there was one more, but that one had like 10 spots only, and then it says $10 parking, so you have to pay for parking. And so from here I think it's about probably 30 miles, 50 kilometers to Harrisburg. So I can leave let's say at 6:30. All right, 6:30. By the time I reach Harrisburg it'll be 7. The curfew will be over, and then I have about an hour in my driving time that I can use. And also I have an hour before the sundown, right? And so I think I'll go back to where I started this morning. I was at the Pilot in Duncannon, PA. And so that's the plan for today. At least I got out of Maryland, and I was afraid the permits would not be issued, but Maryland was issued and Pennsylvania were issued. And then I spent a bunch of time trying to find a Pilot car, you know. And it's all online, of course. You know, you start searching Pilot, Escort Car, Maryland, and you want the car today? Oh geez, no. Okay. Oh well, I'm in New Jersey. Oh, so basically then I just decided, okay, you know what, I asked the guys over there, I said, what's the local area code over here? And they told me it was 240, I think, 240, and either 301 or 305. And when I opened that Pilot car directory, that's the numbers I was focusing on. And finally I hit somebody, and all these guys are very helpful. You know, you hit one guy and he says, oh, I cannot do it, but I'll give you a guy that can do it. I'll give you a company. And you know, and these guys, they have brokers, right? They're independent, but they work through a broker. And actually that's, I see now how that's useful for me, you know. I can save some money by probably dealing directly with the guy, but he's busy, he's on the other side of the US, you know. Whereas if I call like the dispatch office, like the lady that, let's say, sits at home and she has you know, she knows 10-15 guys, right? She knows who's where, right? And she says, okay, let me check, I have one guy in your area, let me check how far he is, and if he wants to do it, I'll call you back. Perfect, you know. And then she calls me back, she says, yeah, his name is so and so, this is his number, when do you want him over there? I said, yeah, 1 o'clock, I'm still finishing the chaining. And that's it. The guy showed up in a small car, and I had to back out of there and go in the opposite direction. It was just too tight, you know, because I'm so long, I'm like 80 feet long. But we made it out of there. We made it to 270 north, and then pretty much US 15. That's how we went, you know, just northwest of Washington, right? But it was very busy over there. So finally over here it's it's not so bad, but Harrisburg is very busy. That's why they don't want me to go there between 4 and 7. And so I'm gonna take it easy. The customer says there's no specific rush with this machine. So the main thing is my main priority is safety, not to get any tickets, not to go where I'm not supposed to go, just follow my permit. And that's my, check out my fuel mileage, 60 liters per 100 kilometers. Well, if you're thinking Imperial, I can tell you roughly that's like 3 miles a gallon. So thanks for watching. Take care. I'll catch you on the next one.